Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता as it is की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let us recite Bhagavad Gita Sloka. We are reciting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 12, text 2. Does anyone need to go first? Okay, so we'll just go in order. Achintadev Prabhu. Or Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita. Not ready. Okay, next is second. Is Invainya here? No. So Isha, Krishna, Ashish, Madhavan.
Sri Bhagavad Maya Veshmano Yemam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayo Vedas Teme Yukta Tamamataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect."
Okay. Krishna, Ashish.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshmano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Teme Yuktatamamata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect."
Madhava.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshmano Yemam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayo Vedas Teme Yuktatamamataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect."
Rasapriya.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshmano Yemam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayo Vedas Teme Yukta Tamamataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect."
Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Please accept my
Mataji.
humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshamano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Pare Upetas Teme Yuktatama Mataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect."
Thank you, Mataji. Prajna and Saujanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, that was pronounced Sargosh to Srila Prabhupada. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Maya Veshya Manoye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Teme Yukta Tamamata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prajna.
Mataji, she'll read few minutes later.
Yeah. So Arunita and Achintadev Prabhu, whoever's ready.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshmano Yemam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayo Teme Yukta Tamamata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most."
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Mai Avishya Manoye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So did then Achintya Dev Prabhu?
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam
Maya Veshya Manoyamam
Nitya Yukta Upasate
Nitya Yukta Upasate
Shraddhaya Parayopetas
Shraddha Yukta Paro Yupe
Shraddhaya
Shraddhya
Shraddhaya
Parayopetas
Te Me Yukta Tamamataha.
Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Did anyone not recite yet? Okay, I'll recite Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 12, text 2. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Okay, so let's begin reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 13, The Descendants of King Nimi. So what did we see so far about King Nimi? First of all, King Nimi is the son of Maharaj Ikshvaku. So of the three prominent sons, who are the three prominent sons? Vikukshi, Nimi and Dandaka. So we read about the descendants of Ikshvaku via Vikukshi. So now we are reading the descendants of Ikshvaku through Nimi. So we saw how after cursing each other, Nimi and Vasishtamuni dropped down dead. Vasishtamuni got another body as the son of Mitra and Varuna when they saw Urvashi, the Apsara. And Nimi's body was preserved by the priests who were performing the yagya for him. And they prayed to the demigods when the sacrifice was completed. They prayed to the demigods, can you please bring our king back to life if you are able to do it, and if you don't mind giving this benediction. So the demigod said, yes, we don't mind, and we are able to do it. But Nimi said, no, I don't want to enter another material body. So that's the discussion we were in so far. So I don't want to enter another material body. Why? So he himself gives the explanation that generally the Mayavadis, they are not interested. In fact, they are very afraid of getting another material body. Why? Because to them, material body means it is simply forgetfulness and it is the source of all suffering. So they don't want to. Whereas a pure devotee of Krishna is not afraid of getting a material body. Then Maharaj Nimi says, but I don't want a material body. Why? Because material body gives so much misery. So then what did Maharaj Nimi say after that? Let's go back. So text 9, you see, Mayavadis generally want freedom from accepting a material body because they fear having to take it up again, right? But devotees whose intelligence is always filled with the service of the Lord are unafraid. Indeed, they take advantage of the body to render transcendental loving service. Not only are they not afraid, rather, if that body awards them an opportunity to render devotional service, devotees are very enthusiastic to accept material bodies because their interest is only in rendering devotional service. Whether material body or spiritual body, it does not matter. That's the state of a devotee. But I don't wish to accept a material body. Why? Because this material body is the source of all distress, lamentation and fear everywhere in the universe, just as it is for a fish in the water which lives always in anxiety because of fear of death. So we saw material body, getting a material body, living in a material body is like a fish is living outside water. What is a fish's life outside water? It's one of anxiety and fear of death. Similarly, according to Maharaj Nimi, when one accepts a material body, it's going to give you so much suffering. It is the source of all suffering, all distress, all lamentation, and all fear. And wherever you go in this universe, higher planets, lower planets, it does not matter. Material body means it is the source of miseries. So therefore I don't want material body. So Maharaj Nimi is saying this. The priest had asked the demigods for returning Nimi's body or allowing Nimi to live in that body. But Nimi refused. So what the demigods are saying as a result of this, Deva uchuhu videha ushyatam kamam lochaneshu sharirinam unmeshana nimeshabhyam lakshitodhyatma samstitaha. Whose turn is it today? Anyone remembers whose turn is it today? We started with Arunita and Achintadev Prabhu. I think in Bainya read. Did Isha, Krishna, Shish, Madhava, Rasapriya, all four of them read? Did Sonia Mataji read? Anyone remembers? Checking. Okay. Losing time though. Who? So, Priyanka Mataji, did you read yesterday? Do you remember?
I didn't read Mataji.
You didn't read. So we can start with you then. I'm not
Okay.
sure about Madhava Rasapriya. Did you read yesterday? Don't remember. Let's start with Priyanka Haripriya Mataji. Mataji, go ahead.
Okay. The demigod said, let Maharaj Nimi live without a material body. Let him live in a spiritual body as a personal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and according to his desire. Let him be manifest or unmanifest to common materially embodied people.
So now, because Maharaj Nimi did not want to go back into that body, so what did the demigod say? The demigod said, Maharaj Nimi, let Maharaj Nimi live without a material body. He does not want a material body, so let him live without a material body. Let him live in a spiritual body as a personal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and according to his desire, let him be manifest or unmanifest to common materially embodied people. So this is the benediction that Maharaj Nimi got from the demigods. Maharaj Nimi's desire was he didn't want a material body. So the demigod said, he can live without a material body. Let him live without a material body. Right? What a benediction. And what else? Let Maharaj Nimi live without a material body, but let him live in a spiritual body as an associate of Lord Vishnu. Let him live a spiritual body as an associate of the Supreme Lord. And according to his desire, let him be manifest or unmanifest to common materially embodied people. Yeah, so he can either show himself, because he doesn't have a material body, how will he show himself? But he can either manifest himself or unmanifest himself. It's up to his will. Although he does not have a material body, he has a spiritual body, and in that spiritual body, he is acting as a personal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So even without a material body, he can be manifest. How is not mentioned exactly, but because he doesn't have a material body, but he can either remain manifest or unmanifest to common people. Purport. So next is Saujanya Mataji and Pragya.
Do I need to read the purport, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
The demigods wanted Maharaja Nimi to come to life, but Maharaja Nimi did not want to accept another material body. Under the circumstances, the demigods, having been requested by the saintly persons, gave him the benediction that he would be able to stay in his spiritual body. There are two kinds of spiritual bodies, as generally understood by common men. The term spiritual body is sometimes taken to refer to a ghostly body. An impious man who dies after sinful activities is sometimes condemned so that he cannot possess a gross material body of 5 material elements, but must live in a subtle body of mind, intelligence, and ego. However, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, devotees can give up the material body and attain a spiritual body free from all material tinges, gross and subtle, tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. Thus the demigods gave King Nimi the benediction that he would be able to stay in a purely spiritual body free from gross and subtle material contamination. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Is Pragya there?
Yes, Mataji.
Last paragraph.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead can be seen or unseen according to his own transcendental desire. Similarly, a devotee being Jivan Mukta can be seen or not as he chooses. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samvita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is not manifest to everyone and anyone. To the common man, he is unseen. Ata Shri Krishna Namanina Bhavet Grahyam Indriya. Krishna and his name, fame, qualities, and paraphernalia cannot be materially understood. Unless one is advanced in spiritual life, Savanamukhi Jiva, though, one cannot see Krishna. Therefore, the ability to see Krishna depends on Krishna's mercy. The same privilege of being seen and unseen according to one's own desire was given to Maharaja Nimi. Thus, he lived in his original spiritual body as an associate of the Supreme Personality of God. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So the demigod said, he doesn't want to take a material body, let him just live without a material body in his spiritual body. He will be living in his spiritual body and rendering, and he can either, he'll be living in his spiritual body as a servant of the Supreme Lord, and by his sweet will, he either he can show himself to the common people in his spiritual body, or he may hide himself. So, in purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada is saying, the demigods also wanted Maharaj Nimi to come back to life, just like the priests who had perform the yagya and pray to the demigods. So the demigods themselves wanted Maharaj Nimi to come back to life. But Maharaj Nimi did not want to accept another material body. So what to do? They want to give a benediction and Maharaj Nimi did not want. Under the circumstances, the demigods, having been requested by the saintly persons, gave him the benediction that he would be able to stay in his spiritual body. Okay? So the demigod said, just remain in your spiritual body. You don't have to take a material body. Srila Prabhupada is saying there are two kinds of spiritual bodies, as generally understood by common men. The term spiritual body is sometimes taken to refer to a ghostly body. Okay? Two meanings to spiritual body. One meaning is people think spiritual body means ghostly body, ghostly body. That's one meaning. An impious man who dies after sinful activities is sometimes condemned so that he cannot possess a gross material body of 5 material elements, but must live in a subtle body of mind, intelligence, and ego. However, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, devotees can give up the material body and attain a spiritual body. Devotees can give up their material body and attain a spiritual body, free from all material tinges, gross and subtle. Thus the demigods gave King Nimi the benediction that he would be able to stay in a purely spiritual body, free from all gross and subtle material contamination. So that is the significance of the demigod saying that let him live in a spiritual body. That means let King Nimi attain a spiritual body free from all material tinges. Material tinges will be there in what? In the material body. Let him live in the spiritual body which is free from all material tinges, whether, pain, suffering, poverty, whatever. He'll be, of course, Maharaj Nimi was the king, but the demigods gave him the benediction. Spiritual body means free from all material tinges, gross and subtle. So the demigods blessed Maharaj Nimi that he would be able to stay in a purely spiritual body free from all gross and subtle material contamination. So it is said that Nimi by his free will can either show himself or not show himself to common men. So regarding that, here Srila Prabhupada is saying, the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be seen or unseen according to his own transcendental desire. Whether one is able to see the Lord or not able to see the Lord, it is not by the ability of the seer, of the person. Rather, it is by the sweet will of the Supreme Lord that one can know him or see him. So the Supreme Lord is either seen or unseen according to his own transcendental desire. Because he also does not show himself to those who are foolish. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita. Mudhoyam na abhijanati lokoyam ajamavyam. So, mudhas, they will not know. Yeah. Naham prakasha sarvasya. That means he doesn't show himself to some, to those who are mudhas. And to others, to the devotees, he reveals himself, he shows. So whether one sees the Lord or does not see the Lord is dependent on the Lord's mercy. Atha Sri Krishna. So to the devotees, how he shows himself? Atha Sri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai. Sevan mukehi jivadav swayameva spuratyadaha. When one surrenders to Krishna, right, by engaging in his devotional service, beginning with the tongue. What does the tongue do? It talks and it tastes. So you feed the tongue only Krishna Prasad and let the tongue vibrate only to glorify Krishna. If we control the tongue, then the rest of the whole body is controlled automatically. So So when one serves the Lord through this way, right, by honoring prasadam and by chanting his holy names, so when he engages in the service of the Lord in this way, then by the Lord's mercy, they can understand something about the Supreme Lord. Unless one is advanced in spiritual life, one cannot see Krishna, right? Seeing Krishna, Bhagavad Darshanam, directly seeing Krishna means you're already, in the spiritual body and now you're going to the spiritual world. So, yeah, normally one cannot see the Lord. But the ability to see the Lord depends on the Lord's mercy. The same privilege of being seen or unseen according to one's own desire was given to Maharaj Nimi. So this type of freedom is there only the Supreme Lord has this freedom of whether he shows himself to others or he doesn't show himself to others. But by the Lord's mercy, even now Maharaj Nimi had the same benediction that either he could show himself or he could not show himself to others, just like the Supreme Lord does. So the demigods gave him that benediction. The same privilege of being seen or unseen according to one's own desire was given to Maharaj Nimi. Thus he lived in his original spiritual body as an associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Maharaj Nimi did not accept a material body. He continued to live in his spiritual body. Text 12. So Achintadev Prabhu, Arunita and Aditi Lata Mataji. अराजकाभयं नृणां मन्यमाना महर्षयः देहं ममन्तुः स्म निमेः कुमारः समजायत.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thereafter, to save the people from the danger of an unregulated government, the sages churned Maharaj Nimi's material body, from which, as a result, a son was born.
So, to save the people from the danger of... Okay, thank you, Mataji. So, Isha read last. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji saying. So, Krishna, Shish, Madhava and Rasapriya lost their turn. It's okay. They'll get their turn now after Invanya. All right. So, to save the people from the danger of an unregulated government. Why unregulated government? Maharaj Nimi is there, but he does not have a body, material body. He's there in his spiritual body, but not everyone is able to see him. So, is he ruling the kingdom without material body? How anyone will see? To do material activities, you need a material body, isn't it? Like when you talk about the duties of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, these are all duties. So, what are these bodies made of? Brahmana's body, Kshatriya's body. These bodies are according to the modes. Someone who is primarily in the mode of goodness, his body, he gets a Brahmana's body. Someone who is primarily in the mode of passion, he gets a Kshatriya's body. Like that. And what are these modes? These modes are manifestations of the material prakriti, material nature, material energy. So therefore, when you have a material body, then you do material activities, your duties in this world. Now, Maharaj Nimi didn't have a material body, and on top of that, not everyone was able to see him. Only those to whom he wanted to reveal himself would see him, but others would not see him. Or whenever he wanted to show himself, he would show to everyone, I guess, and then he would just disappear like the Supreme Lord. They were not able to see him. So, how he will rule? The people are not seeing a king sitting on the throne. What will happen? Remember when Vena was killed, there was no king. then what happened? There will be chaos. Without a king, all the plunderers, rogues, and thugs, they will just come and start plundering the citizens because there is no king, so there is no law and order. So that is why, because Maharaj Nimi was in one sense not present. Why? Because he didn't have a material body. So to save the people from the danger of unregulated government, because there is no king, the sages churned Maharaj Nimi's material body, from which as a result a son was born. Exactly, just like how Prithu Maharaj was born, right? Vena's body was churned, and from that came ultimately Prithu Maharaj. So similarly here also, Maharaj Nimi's body was churned, material body was churned, and from that one son was born. So this is the descendant of Maharaj Nimi. You're talking about the descendants of the Nimi dynasty. So this is the first one. Nimi's son was born like this by churning his body. Why did they churn Maharaj Nimi's body? Because he didn't have a material body, and the material body which he had was now dead, right? But they preserved, the sages preserved that body. So now they churned the same body, and from that one son was born. Let's read the purport. So next is either Aditi Lata Mataji or Achintadev Prabhu.
Yes, Arajaka Bhayam. If the government is unsteady and unregulated, there is danger of fear for the people. At the present moment, this danger always exists because of government by the people. Here we can see that the great sages got a son from Nimi's material body to guide the citizens properly. For such guidance is the duty of a Kshatriya king. A Kshatriya is one who saves the citizens from being injured. In the so-called people's government, there is no trained Kshatriya king. As soon as someone strong accumulates votes, he becomes the minister or president without training from the learned Brahmanas, expert in the Shastras. Indeed, we see that in some countries the government changes from party to party, and therefore the men in charge of the government are more eager to protect their position than to see that the citizens are happy. The Vedic civilization prefers monarchy. People like the government of Lord Ramachandra, the government of Maharaj Yudhishthir, and the governments of Maharaj Parikshit, Maharaj Ambarish, and Maharaj Prahlad. There are many instances of excellent government under a monarch. Gradually, the democratic government is becoming unfit for the needs of the people, and therefore, some parties are trying to elect a dictator. A dictatorship is the same as the monarchy, but without a trained leader. Actually, people will be happy when a trained leader, whether a monarch or a dictator, takes control of the government and rules the people according to the standard regulations of the authorized scriptures. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, talking about unregulated government, right? So, Arajaka. Arajaka means Raja, Araja. There is no Raja, right? And Bhayam means fear. So, there is fear when there is no king and there is no law and order. There is fear for in the citizens. If the government is unsteady and unregulated, there is danger of fear for the people. And who takes responsibility? So, Srila Prabhupada is comparing now when we say we have democracy. So, who takes that responsibility to make sure that the people are protected from being fearful? At the present moment, this danger always exists. There's always fear in the hearts of people, right? A war may break out or whatever. So many fear. Prices will go up. What else? Crime, right? So there's always fear at the present moment. Whereas in the Vedic society, the great sages took the responsibility. That means they wouldn't rule themselves, but they will train, right, a proper king, and they will guide the king how to rule. And the king rules. And when he rules, his duty, first and foremost duty, is to give protection to the citizens. To give protection to the citizens. So when there is such a responsible king who's God fearing or who's a devotee of the Supreme Lord, a Rajarshi, then the citizens are very happy with that type of government. So there was always monarchy before, right? And Srila Prabhupada gives the difference between dictatorship and monarchy. Dictatorship means there's only one ruler, and he's the sole, he has all power in his hands. The only difference is he's not trained. Whereas in monarchy, the ruler is trained, the king is trained. Trained according to what? Trained according to the scriptures. So, in a Vedic society, there is Varnashram system, and in the Varnashram system, the center is Lord Vishnu. Whether you are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, everyone is worshipping the Supreme Lord. Whether you want something or you are in difficulty, you just approach Lord Vishnu. There's a proper training for everyone in the Varnashram society. So even for a king, for a Kshatriya king, there is proper training according to the scriptures. So when you have a trained king, one king, that's monarchy. When you don't have a trained king, but there's only one ruler, that's dictatorship, right? So what is better, dictatorship or monarchy? Monarchy, because there's training. Hitler was a dictator, but he was not trained properly, right? So actually people will be happy when a trained leader, whether a monarch or a dictator, takes control of the government and rules the people according to the standard regulations of the authorized scriptures. Yeah, if there is no training and if there is no guidance from the scriptures, then what happens? If all power is vested in one person, he can exploit the people if he's not properly trained. So therefore, proper training is essential. Not just initially he's trained, no, ongoing. There is guidance. Kshatriyas are always obedient to the Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas give knowledge to the king about what the scriptures say, how to act, and then the king follows those instructions. So, therefore, training is important. Okay. Next one, text 13. So we were talking about unregulated government, right? Unregulated government. Out of fear of out of concern for the fear of people because of unregulated government, the sages churned the material body of Maharaj Nimi, and a boy was born. That's what we read. Now the next verse. Janmana janakahaso bhut vaidehastu videhajaha mithilo mathana jato mithilayena nirmita. Okay. So, Achintadev Prabhu, you are able to read?
Yes, Mataji, I'll read. Because he was born in an unusual way, the son was called Janaka, and because he was born from the dead body of his father, he was known as Vaideha. Because he was born from the churning of his father's material body, he was known as Mithila. And because he constructed a city as King Mithila, the city was called Mithila. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, we are reading about the dynasty from King Nimi, isn't it? So, what did we see? So many Janakas are there coming down in the line of King Nimi. So, this is the first Janaka. How was he born? By churning the material body of King Nimi. So he's called Janaka. Ja means birth. Janaka. So because his birth was unusual, it's not normal, right? To be born from the body of a father directly, and that too from a dead body, right? This is not normal. So because he was born in an unusual way, his name became Janaka. Another name is Videha. Deha is body, right? Videha. He was born by churning the body of his father, right? He was born from the dead body of his father. So he is called Vaideha, not Videha, Vaideha. Because he was born from the dead body of the father, he is called Vaideha. And then Mithila, because he was born from the churning of his father's maternal material body, he is known as Mithila. So the only point here is churning father's body, which was material. Therefore, he is known as Mithila. And because he constructed a city as King Mithila, the city was called Mithila. So his name is also Mithila, isn't it? This boy that was born from Nimi, churning the body, material body of Nimi, the boy that is born, he's called either Janaka or Vaideha or Mithila. Okay. And this king Mithila, this boy born from yes, Mataji, one second. Because this boy is born from the body of body means by churning the body of King Nimi. He got different names, right? Janaka, Vaideha, and Mithila. So his name is Mithila. So this king Mithila built a nice city, right? Because he is Mithila, the city is named after him as Mithila. So we know the birthplace of Sita Devi, right, is Mithila. Yes, Mataji, Saujanya Mataji.
Mataji, so 2 days ago when you said that we are going to read Janaka's dynasty, it's not that Janaka. Janaka means the name. I think something you said like that. It's just like a son, like any son's name would say Janaka. And now we're talking about Janaka Maharaj, which is not Ikshvaku dynasty.
No, he is still Ikshvaku dynasty only, not coming through Vikukshi. So we said Ikshvaku had 100 sons. The three eldest sons are prominent: Vikukshi, Nimi, and Dandaka. So we read Vikukshi's dynasty up until the previous chapter. So Lord Ramchandra and then Kusha dynasty, they're all coming in Ikshvaku dynasty, coming through Vikukshi. So this chapter is talking about Ikshvaku dynasty coming through Nimi. That's one thing. And Janaka is the son of Nimi. And why he called, this is the beauty of Sanskrit language. Every word has a meaning, right? And so why he's called Janaka, the son of Nimi? Because his birth was unusual. He's not born normally. So because of unusual birth, he's called Janaka. Ja means, I said Janma. So Janaka means unusual birth. And then this Janaka's son is also called Janaka, and his son is called Janaka, like first name, last name. Like you are Saujanya Guduru. And then, your daughter will be Nitya Guduru. Like that. So that means Guduru is your family name. So Janaka became like that. That's what I'm saying. So this Janaka, who's the son of Nimi, is not Sita Devi's father. There will be several generations of Janaka, and then we will come to Sita Devi's father, Janaka.
Oh, so So even Sita Devi's father Janaka is also from Ikshvak, basically.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, so now we'll continue reading. So we saw Mithila. He established a city called Mithila. Why it is called Mithila? Because his name was only Mithila. Why his name was Mithila? Because he was born from the dead body, from churning the dead body of his father. So his name became Mithila. And his name became Vaideha because again he was churned from the body of his father. He's born from the body, right? Dead body. Let me see. A slight variation there. He's known as Vaideha because he's born from the dead body of his father, therefore Vaideha. And Mithila because churning of the father's material body. Okay? Churning of the father, because of he's born by churning the father's material body, he's called Mithila, MM. And he's born from the dead body of his father, so he's called Vaideha. And Janaka because of his unusual birth. Okay. Now the next verse. Inba. Tasmad udavasustasya putro bhunnandi vardhanaha tataha suketustasyapi devarato mahipate.
O King Parikshit, from Mithila came a son named Udavasu. From Udavasu, Nandivardhana. From Nandivardhana, Suketu. And from Suketu, Devarata.
Devarata. Again we are reading the dynasty. So we will be reading names, whose son is who. So Mithila is none other than Janaka, the son of Nimi. So that Janaka or Mithila or Vaideha, he had three names. So his son is Udavasu. Udavasu's son is Nandivardhana. So it's like Udavasu Janaka, Nandivardhana Janaka, Suketu Janaka, like that. Devarata Janaka, like that. So these are all the kings in the line coming from Nimi. Inya. Tasmad Brihadrathastasya Mahavirya Sudrit Pita Sudriter Drishtaketurvai Haryashvotha Marustataha.
From Devarata came a son named Brihadrata, and from Brihadrata came a son named Mahavirya, who became the father of Sudhriti. The son of Sudhriti was known as Drishtaketu, and from Drishtaketu came Haryashva. From Haryashva came a son named Maru.
Yes, so further in the line of King Nimi, right? So Devarata's son is Brihadratha, Brihadratha's son is Mahavirya. Mahavirya's son is Sudriti, Sudriti's son is Drishtaketu, Drishtaketu's son is Haryashva. And Haryashva's son is Maru. So if you remember, anyway, I'll just keep reading. Next, Mataji and Prabhuji are there, Inya?
No, Mataji.
Okay, so next, Isha Krishna Shish Madhava Rasapriya. Maroho pratipakastasmaj jataha kritaratho yataha devamidhastasya putro vishrutotha mahadritihi. Isha.
The son of Maru was Pratipaka, and the son of Pratipaka was Kritaratha. From Kritaratha came Devamidha. From Devamidha, Vishruta, and from Vishruta, Mahadhriti.
So now this Maru's son is Pratipaka. Pratipaka's son was Kritaratha. Kritaratha's son was Devamida. And Devamida's son is Vishruta, and Vishruta's son is Mahadriti. Remember, this is dynasty of King Nimi. Kritiratastasman Maharoma cha tatsutaha Swarnaroma sutastasya ह्रस्वरोमा व्यजायत. Krishnashish.
From Mahakriti was born a son named Kritirata. Kritirata. From Kritirata was born Maharoma.
Maharoma.
From Maharoma came a son named Swarnaroma. From Swarnaroma came Rashvaroma.
Hrasvaroma. Okay. Yeah. So from Mahadriti, Kritirata was born. Kritirata's son was Maharoma. Maharoma's son is Suvarnaroma or Swarnaroma. And Swarnaroma's son is Hrasvaroma. Descendants. ततः शिरध्वजो यज्ञे यज्ञार्थं कर्षतो महिं सीतशीराग्रतो जाता तस्मात् शिरोध्वजस्मृतः. Okay. Madhava?
From
Hrasvaroma.
Hrasvaroma, there was a son named Siradhwaja,
Shiradhvaja.
also called Janaka. When Siradhwaja was plowing a field from the front of his plow, Sira appeared a daughter named Sita Devi, who later became the wife of Lord Ramchandra. Thus, he was known as Siradhwaja.
So after all the kings that we read in the previous verse, so Hrasvaroma's son is Shiradhvaja. So Shiradhvaja is also, we know him as Janaka. That means he is Shiradhvaja Janaka. As I said, all the kings, they are all called first name and last name is Janaka, like that. So Sita Devi's father's name is Shiradhvaja and he is also famous as Janaka, Shiradhvaja. When Shiradhvaja was plowing a field, from the front of his plow appeared Shira, right? Shira, plow. From the front of his plow appeared a daughter named Sita Devi, who later became the wife of Lord Ramchandra. Thus he is known as Shiradhvaja. Why is called Shiradhvaja? Because, so Shira means the front of the plow, and while he was plowing the field, of course he's a king, so why is he plowing the field? It was some yagya, for some yagya. And there they found Sita Devi. Yeah. So his name is called Shiradhvaja because he found Sita Devi in front of his Shira plow. So Rasapriya. Kushadhvajastasya putras tato dharmadhvajo nripaha dharmadhvajasya dvau putrau kritadhvaja mitadhvajo.
The son of Siradhwaja was Kushadhwaja, and the son of Kushadhwaja was King Dharmadhwaja, who had two sons named Kritadhwaja and Mitadhwaja.
So we saw Shiradhvaja is Janaka Maharaj, the father of Sita Devi. Now who is the son of Janaka Maharaj? Kushadhvaja. Kushadhvaja's son is Dharmadhvaja. Dharmadhvaja. And Dharmadhvaja had two sons, Kritadhvaja and Mitadhvaja. Okay. Sonia Mataji. कृतध्वजात् केशिध्वजः खाण्डिक्यस्तु मितध्वजात् कृतध्वजसुतो राजन् आत्मविद्याविशारदः खाण्डीयः कर्मतत्त्वज्ञो भीतः केशिध्वजाद्रुतः भानुमांस्तस्य पुत्रो भूत् शतद्युम्नस्तु तत्सुतः. Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
O Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Kritadhvaja was Kesidhvaja, and the son of Mitadhvaja was Khandikya. The son of Kritadhvaja was expert in spiritual knowledge, and the son of Mitadhvaja was expert in Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Khandikya fled in fear of Kesitvaja. The son of Kesitvaja was Bhanuman, and the son of Bhanuman was
Shatadyumna.
Shatadyumna.
Yeah,
Hare
thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. So we read up to Kritadvaja, the previous verse. The son of Kritadvaja is Keshidvaja. So there were two, right? Kritadvaja and Mitadvaja. So son of Kritadvaja is Keshidvaja, son of Mitadvaja is Khandikya. Son of Kritadvaja was expert in spiritual knowledge. Keshidvaja, right? The son of Kritadvaja was expert in spiritual knowledge, and the son of Mitadvaja was expert in Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Khandikya fled in fear of Keshidvaja. Okay, so Khandikya fled in fear of Keshidvaja. The son of Keshidvaja was Bhanuman, and the son of Bhanuman was Shatadyumna. So we can stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam reading. So we are stopping at Sonia Mataji. So next will be Usha Mataji, right? And Medha. They'll begin tomorrow. And I'll just read Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Introduction. I did. And bookmark it. Wait. Okay. Yeah. I'll continue reading. The Lord further says, Bhagavad Gita 9:32 and 33, Mam hi parthavya pashritya yepi syuh papayo nayah striyo vaishyas tatha shudras tepi yanti param gatim kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayas tatha anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. Thus the Lord says that even a merchant, a fallen woman, or a laborer, or even human beings in the lowest status of life can attain the supreme. One does not need highly developed intelligence. The point is that anyone who accepts the principle of bhakti yoga and accepts the Supreme Lord as the summum bonum of life, as the highest target, the ultimate goal, can approach the Lord in the spiritual sky. If one adopts the principles enunciated in Bhagavad Gita, he can make his life perfect and make a permanent solution to all the problems of life. This is the sum and substance of the entire Bhagavad Gita. In conclusion, Bhagavad Gita is a transcendental literature which one should read very carefully. Gita saram idam punyam yaha pathet prayatah puman. If one properly follows the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, one can be freed from all the miseries and anxieties of life. Bhaya shokadi varjitaha. One will be freed from all fears in this life. And one's next life will be spiritual. If you surrender to Bhagavad Gita, if you follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. So we will read the rest tomorrow. But today's point was anyone can become Krishna conscious, not that only Brahmanas can. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So we're starting a new chapter. Chapter 16, Free to Preach. Here I am, now sitting in New York, the world's greatest city, such a magnificent city. But my heart is always hankering after that Vrindavan. I shall be very happy to return to my Vrindavan. I shall be very happy to return to my Vrindavan, that sacred place. But then, why are you here? Now, because it is my duty. I have brought some message for you people, because I have been ordered by my superior, my spiritual master. Whatever you have learned, you should go to the Western countries and you must distribute this knowledge. So, in spite of all my difficulties, all my inconveniences, I am trying. I'm sorry. Let me read again. Because I have been ordered by my superior, my spiritual master, whatever you have learned, you should go to the Western countries and you must distribute this knowledge. So, in spite of all my difficulties, all my inconveniences, I am here because I am obligated by duty. From a lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So, we will begin reading this chapter tomorrow. I'm ending the class here and I'm ending a little early because I'm feeling very sleepy. Hare Krishna. So I'll see you all again tomorrow. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.